everybody, it's Christine Bertram. I'm coming to you live from the hive here with Hunky. He's here. He was just drinking his water and there he goes. So right off the bat, you guys get a kitten sighting. Yay. I know that sometimes we'll make it the whole day, the whole live and not have a kitten. So there, we had Hunky right off the bat. I think the other two have nestled into their favorite chairs and already opt for their cat naps because that's what these kittens do. This is what the kittens do. They like to sleep a lot. So we are here finally. Oh my goodness. It's Friday. It's the 7th of February and we are officially getting to the year-end guessing game questions and the word search that we had. Hi Linda Hunt, hi Sherry Martin, and there's Judy Sharp. Yay! I know there's more watching, but those are the three I see. So hello to everybody who's watching. I am excited to do this with you. It's one of those things that takes precedence, is generally making all the magic happen in terms of the classes come first. And then we had a big event in there in January. We came out of Christmas and then I went to Florida for a week, and it just, these kind of things to me are more secondary or even thirdary. I don't know, that's not a word, but they're third. Hi, Mary Sykes. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Connie. There's Susan Bellamy. Yay. Hi, Deb Norman. Hi, Mary Novak. There's Mary Sykes. And so these kind of things that I do that are extra and above, they don't always make it to the surface to get done right away because there are other things that usually take precedence. And then getting sick this past week, I had planned to do this video last Friday at 11, and I thought I was planning to do this on the Thursday, the day before last week, Friday. So it just doesn't happen. You can have all these, so what is that? The best made plans always go awry or something like that. There's probably a saying out there about that. So, but here we are officially. You guys probably thought, oh, is she going to change it again? Because the only way I really had this on the calendar was by creating the YouTube video. I scheduled it. And I've changed it 4 times, and here we are. Finally, yay. And then I am planning, you guys, at 1 o'clock, I'm going to be back live to do the navigation video. And I have a list, you guys. I have this list. I've been making a list of all the things that I want to go over with the navigation video. And it'll be a good time for you guys to watch and listen, especially if you're newer. And doesn't hurt to ask questions throughout it like any other class. Just know that I might tell you, oh, we're going to get to that because I do have a plan of what to go through and what order, and we'll eventually get to almost everything. So it'll be a good one to watch. Janice is catching me early. Janice, are you back from Hawaii? I think you might be now because you are watching. That's good. I've got your box all staged on the counter back here so that we can ship it next week, Tuesday. That is our next shipping day. So lots of stuff. And I don't know how well you guys can see it, but probably not. But from the drop down, which is underneath the TV, we call that the drop down, from that area all the way to the end over on the back counter, all of that is piles. There's even, you guys can maybe see right there, it looks yellowy. Right there, that's the pile of, so we've got all the yellow ribbons that we owe everybody for the ink, paper, scissors from January. And if you have a package in February, we're able to just put it on your pile. And there's maybe 15, 20 people out of 96 that haven't picked out a February class or signed up for a future class. So we're holding them until people tell us what to do with them. So yeah, so we're staged on those. And we have 2 classes yet to kit. We have the Fun Folds class, which is coming up at the end of February. We're kitting that over the weekend. And Rose's Technique Club class, which is going to be kitted up between now and Monday too. So we've set ourselves up. It was a busy week. And so when I'm delaying things like this, it's because it's hard to do these kind of things. At the same time, I have my helpers here because I like to, as much as I can, be involved in the kitting so that things aren't missed. Sometimes there are hidden things, which we call sacrificial lambs, or pieces that you don't see, and we gotta make sure we catch it all. We had a really hard January with a couple classes that we had some things missing, and well, nothing that we couldn't fix, right? But I try not to have that happen at all. So, all right, I do have my Happy Mail, and if you guys are okay with it, I did not have an opportunity to do Happy Mail last night. I had a pretty long live doing the Memories and More class, which was I thought, phenomenal. With even being a little schnuddly and a little bit not like 100% myself. I maybe was on, so normally I say I run on 8 cylinders. I think I was running on 6 cylinders, so I was still good. But I loved those cards a lot. And it's always sad for me when I get done with a live because I'm done with the class. And what happens is when we design a class, we set them on the counter and we show them off and we have excitement for them because they're our little children. That's one thing Chris has always told me. When she creates cards, they all become her little children. And so these cards become our children. And when I'm done with a class, and I already had this class on Wednesday and I had the other class online with you guys last night, I'm like, oh man, I don't want to put them away. I don't want to like store them. I want to just keep staring at them. And these 15 cards were all so beautiful to me. So yeah, so it was a good class though, and if you missed it, it was a long one. I think we started right at 6 o'clock, and I think I finished right at 9 or 9:15. And then you guys know what I did after that? I had to fix my printer. Miss Honey, I went to print a packing list, and it did its going in and coming back because it prints on both sides. And Honey stuck her paw in as far as she could and tried to grab the paper as it was sucking back into the printer. And then when it came back, it had claw marks in it and it got jammed. And I had to pull the whole printer out and empty it out, like, and fix the gremlins on the inside. She thinks there's gremlins on the inside that are operating things, I think, and she wants to get them out. And so I spent 20 minutes doing the printer head alignment printing and just fixing it, and it works. I thought for a moment I was gonna have to buy a new printer, and nobody wants to have to buy a new printer at this day and age. Like, oh, so I'm very happy we got it fixed. Hi, France Aldridge. Yes, all the little children. Hi, Carissa. So Carissa is helping me, you guys. For those that don't know, cbcenroll@gmail.com. She's watching right now. She's been helping me with enrollments, and it's been going very good, I think. I feel better about going into February's shipping day than I have for probably the last year or two. I feel more organized than ever. And she's also helping track if anybody wanted to get in on last night's class that didn't get kits. She's keeping track of that. We had potentially a couple left, but we needed to get through a few more emails yet to make sure that somebody else previously hadn't signed up for the class. And if there was a lot of interest, we were going to look at kitting up 8 more if there was enough people interested. And so if you are remotely interested, send an email to her, and she's helping me keep a list. And also, I showed off the Raleigh Memories and More class that we're doing, and she's helping. I don't think she knew she was going to do this until I announced it, but I think she's going to keep a little spreadsheet for me that hint, hint, that will track who's all interested in that too. So, hi Karen Wetstein. Hi Angelique. All right, so Karen, I have not done what we talked about on the phone yesterday. I will cut that up and do that. I'm hoping to do that between this and the Navigate video I have at 1. So we also went through last night and we announced all the winners for the January things that I do, which we'll go over those during the Navigate video. Somebody asked last night, well, how do you get in on the drawings? Well, I'll go over that at 1 o'clock too. So if you guys are good, we'll do a few happy mails. I think I'm getting quite an extensive pile, and I don't want it to keep growing. So I have a pile from my mom. So one of the great things that we do for the events that I host is we have about 20 helpers. And for those that are attending the event, I provided labels for all my helpers so that those in attendance could send thank you cards just to shower my helpers with love. And some people got my mom's address from the label, and some people hand wrote the label. So some people have my mom and dad's address. And so my mom gave me a little stack of cards here too of Happy Mail that she got. So I'm gonna do that first, and then we'll go through. I have everything here. I have the year-end guessing game questions, and then I have the hunts or the word searches. So we'll start with my mom's pile here. This is from Jay Shante. And Jay sent her this beautiful thank you using the Countryside Designer Series paper, which was a carryover, you guys. It's still available. It's in the online store. It was part of the annual catalog, and then they moved it to the online store. So a simple card with a huge amount of thanks. I love it. So very pretty card, Jay. And it's simple, but it's elegant, and I love the blues. So Team Blue would go crazy for this one. So Jean Turwilger sent this beautiful green card. Look at this. on Jean, I'm drawing this might be from a paper pumpkin, this die cut. And what she did is she embossed with the Distress Tile embossing folder and added lots of love on a label. And then she used the scalloped contour dye, color and contour dyes. So Blackberry Bliss is one of my favorite colors, and Mossy Meadow is Tyler's favorite color. We had to paint the wall in the stout room Mossy Meadow. Pretty much Mossy Meadow is what it ended up being. And so very pretty. So I have to show this one to Tyler too, because he would go ham over the green. Very pretty card, Jean. This one is from Angelique McClendon. Very cool, using the toadstool paper. And she pulled in the birch, it's the birch, I think, the birch embossing folder. Very pretty granny apple mixed with freesia, a couple little strips in perfect little iridescent bow, and some of the in color gems that are in fresh freesia. Very pretty, and a thank you. That label is from Unbounded Love, if I'm not mistaken. This one is from Miss Anna Rebedu, and she used the sloth set. This was a annual catalog set from maybe last year. I'm not sure if she made it or it was a swap card. Sometimes we get swap cards too. And so if I say it's from you and you didn't make it, that's okay too, you guys. We get cards and swaps, and so sometimes we don't always make the cards that we send. And so, but here's the cool thing. Anna's been doing this for a while now. She has these frosty clear posts. So you guys thought she probably wrote on that, right? But it is a Post-it note that is clear, and you have to use a magic marker or a Sharpie. And this is one that has that little guy pops up and holds that. So it's one of these easel triangle-y side cards. So you guys, I don't know all the terminology for cards. You'd think I would, but I don't know what folds are called. I just see them and I make them. Hi, Polly Libby. All right, this one is from Nancy Haggard. She is from Minocqua and Lactiframboy. Yep, Lactiframboy. And this uses the Otter's paper. And I love how she used the nested essential dyes to their finest potential, which is layer, layer, layer with a label. And so very pretty. I love it. So thank you for that one, Nancy. I love the color combination. Happy Friday to you too, Angelique. I already said today to Sharon Davis, TGIF. But I also told her that when I was working a Monday through Friday job, that really meant more. This is from Tracy Sword. We're using the Nests of Winter with her birdies. And she added that birch embossing folder in the back too. And then some of the gems that came from that suite. Very cool. So now that I don't work a job Monday through Friday, I work a job 24/7, 365 days of the year. That's how it is. I love my job that I do, you guys. I really do. And otherwise I wouldn't do it. But the joke was that every day doesn't, like no day feels like Friday. This is from Chris Duderanki. It was the Let's Just Stamp Changing Leaves card from September. Very cool. And she has her leaves on here, and she's got a nice little thank you. So little Chris. So my mom calls her little Chris. Not that I'm big Chris, but she's littler than me. So she's a little shorter. All right, so that's my mom's Happy Mail that she wanted me to share with you. Now I have some Happy Mail here. I found those Post-its on Amazon and love them. Yay! Yes, they are out there. I think if you just look for clear Post-it notes, you'd find them. That's good. This is from Andy Aquis, so she sent me a Valentine's Day card, you guys. I love it. She's got some hearts on here. Look at this. Okay, if you weren't sold on the heart-shaped bundle that is part of sale-a-bration that uses that die set. So I can show you really quick here. If I have my guide up, I don't know if I still have it. I do. I love it. It's still up. Okay. So I don't know if Kelly has it in here yet. She might have taken it out. Okay, so what Kelly did is she took sale-a-bration. Okay. I always got to get the tappy thing here to get the little circles at the bottom. You guys might have the same problem doing this from your phone. Like once you're in a file, it's really hard. Oh, there it is. Up at the top. She created a separate file for the sale-a-bration offerings. And the heart-shaped is as $120 purchase. You get this free. So that die right there, right? That die with that stamp set is what she used. And that label comes from it. And the little flowers also, you see those little flowers? They are part. So if you love this card as much as I do, it's so pretty, Anne, then you might consider putting that onto your order to get for free when you have a $120 order. That's where that really intricate die came from. And she splattered the back with the red splatters. And it's the cane weave embossing folder. So very pretty. And then she's got a couple hearts on the inside. Now, those hearts are not from here. So if I look in the set, I don't see the hearts there. But look at you. You like, look at me using this beekeeper's guide, you guys. I knew I would use this for every purpose. And sharing things with you is what is amazing. Like, I can just pull up and show you guys stuff so easily now. Okay, this is from Donna Grushki. It was a class I did called Perfectly Pomegranate or something with the pomegranate. It was in May of, not last year, but the year before. It was a Stamp-a-Stack, and it was using the little note cards and envelopes. Laura Sullivan, you would hate it, but, and I think it goes like this actually. And so it was really cool. We made like a whole pack of little note cards, and we used that pomegranate stamp set that was sale-a-bration with some matching designer paper. So I love it. I love getting cards back that I helped design. So, all right, so that was from Donna Grushki. This is from Laura Sullivan. Ohio, Ohio, Ohio. Happy everything. I love how she does the double bows on here. And, oh man, the hearts look like, I can't, like, I'm drawing a blank where things are. This is that organdy ribbon, I think, that was available. This was a, this is polished pink, and that was the in color ribbon. I don't remember where this is like Hippo and Friends. That label is something, I think it was called Hippo and Friends. And that embossing folder, if I had to guess, is Parisian, but I could be wrong. But I love the pink and the black and the white. I'm drawing blanks on everything. But look what she did. Oh man, she cut a heart out of the white mat and she put the black designer paper behind it. Now that is a clever thing to do. And she added a little bow here in the middle on the pink bow, or on the pink heart. So super cool. All right, always know in your heart that you are far bigger than anything that can happen to you. Thanks, Laura. All right. Oh my God, I love designing the pomegranate cards with you. The class was so fun, so much. Purple though. Yes. Carissa helped me design. I remember I came down to your apartment and we worked on that down there. We whipped them out really fast, and I think I had to go home and put them together, like finish the final assembly. This is from Sandy Gorin from Colorado, and these are the little bee set that she used. I loved it. I feel like I made this card and I gave it to her for something, and I don't remember exactly when, but I feel like that came from me, and she maybe used it or she cased it. I don't know, but that was the bee paper that was from Sale-a-bration from a couple of years ago. This is from Rita Steffi. She used Spotlight in Nature and some of the peach pie ribbon, and the coloring up. So what she did is she had this is popped up, this circle's popped up, but she stamped it flat, and then, well, actually she stamped the leaf itself, and then she stamped it on the top, and it looks like it's a continuous line, which is super cool. So yeah, you're very welcome, Rita. So, and she's got the pretty flowers on the inside. Very nice, monochromatic, white with peach. Now this one comes to us from Vicki Rodriguez, and she used the Splendid Autumn or Autumn Expressions designer paper at the top. Little arm across the back with the iridescent ribbon and a nice little daisy on the front here. And a love note. I love the love notes that Vicki writes. And you make my life better. Make life better. Yay. So I love it. That's very pretty. This one is from Doreen Randall. Yay. And Doreen, you guys, is from Hawaii. I love it. So this came all the way from Hawaii. So she said she got a DSP sampler from me. And she sent me the little, I think she got a sampler, or maybe she sent me the little bags back. And these are the bags we use for the DSP sampler. So I'm pretty sure. I always love this layout. What I mean by this layout is there's strips of designer paper that match, and then there's two going the opposite way. It reminds me of a puzzle with designer series paper and having a nice mat and something stamped in the inside. It's so cool. And it's purple. I think maybe that's why I love it so much. It's purple. So yes, she got her 2024 sampler. That's what I thought when she sent me all these little baggies. So she said mahalo, which is thank you. So very cool. I love it. All right, here's an Otters card, and this comes to us from Nancy Haggard. Okay, so she sent me one too, and oh man. So I'm thinking that's the Hippo and Friend die. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's where that came from. So, and she used the new Waves embossing folder, and you are much appreciated, and the little sprig on the side. And she's so happy to be a bee. I love it. So we're happy you're a bee as well. Hello, Debbie Gast. Hi, Linda from Manitoba. This one is from Linda Grady. Okay, you guys. So I loved her note on the inside. She said, okay, so Linda won one of the prizes for being a top fan back in December, I think. And she received this card in a swap and saved it just for me to be able to send me a B card. So I love it. And so it says, be happy. And so, yeah, thanks, Linda, for saving your B card for me. I appreciate it. This one is from Mary Lemke. I think she's my brand in South Dakota. Yes, Mary Lemke, a Valentine's Day card. Love you forever. That, I believe, is where this came from. That frilly heart foliage stamp, a die cut. And then there was a heart that went in the middle. She used some of the purple shimmer gems and some twine. I love it. So, and she's got a little bedazzly purple heart right in the inside for me. The best kind of friend is the kind like you. Thanks, Mary. You're amazing. This one is Lynn Beasley. Oh, she sent me a donut. So, you guys, yes, not everybody always sends me handmade cards. So I thought I'd share this too. This is from Lynn Beasley. It doesn't make you want donuts. And I think the one in the middle being purple was specifically just for me. I love it. All right, here's Jay Shante. Oh my gosh, you guys. So if you loved these cards from last night, they're still sitting here, you guys. All these cards from last night are still sitting here. We did the Memories and More Mixed Media Floral. Okay. This is another sample from Jay Shante. So you can see another design. She used that one 3x4 card and she added some little, I called it the hashtag die, and a little baby label. The thank you, my thank you is still sitting here. I forgot to clean it and put it away. So I put the stamp set away and left the stamp sit here. But that thank you comes from mixed labels. And she added a die cut black and white circle. And it's either Dashing Designs or Cute Crochet. You guys, I can never remember the difference between those two. And now that I have my beekeeper's guide, I'm going to start to learn the page numbers for things. We'll give that a moment because I want to show you. This one I'm pretty sure is Dashing Designs, and she had a matching envelope. So that DSP matches that. It's so cool to have it all matchy-matchy, you guys. So yay! All right, here I want to show you how cool this is now. So we have embossing folders are before punches and after dies. Maybe they're after punches. They're after punches. And so I can say I never can remember the difference between Dashing Designs and Cute Crochet. So here's Dashing Designs. That is what Jay used. And then the Cute Crochet is next to it. So now having these at a glance, I can learn them better. All right, so there we go. So I love it. I love it, like the envelope matching the flap. All right, this one comes to us from Jay Shante too. I love it. So this was a thank you for doing these, like the different retreats that I do. Now look at this beauty here. And this uses the Regal Winter Designer paper. And this is birthday. So she hopes I had a great birthday month and matching the envelope. So nice little layout too with a rectangle, and then that main rectangle showing off the designer series paper. Very pretty. And I have just a couple more, you guys, and then we will do the game stuff. This is from Jan Wampetch, and a cute little card that has a house blowing out a heart out of the leaves are blowing up in the air. So very pretty. And the last card I have is from Carol Alanis. Yay, Carol, my friend from Texas. Oh, thanks, Sandy Coy Emery. Don't forget the thumbs up. Hi, Margene Eskelson. Sandy Coy Emery, I hope you're having a good Friday. Hello, hello from Chile, Maine. This one is from, like I said, Carol Alanis. She's my friend from Texas. She sent me a Happy New Year birthday card. And what I love about Carol when she sends me cards is she will send the white written like she would normally have done it, but then she adds, and she sent me two of them actually, so I got two. I think that was an accident sending that, but what she'll do is she'll have this in the inside, so I have her written note, and I would collect these and put them up, and then I've got the card where I can repurpose and reuse it, and it's happy birthday, let's celebrate. So she did a twofer that she gave me my birthday and a New Year's card in one, and she added this embossed piece of white eyelet paper over the top of it so that it would not get damaged with the sequins. So perfect. Okay, that was all my Happy Mail, you guys. So we made it through a whole session of Happy Mail, and we are going to get into the questions and answers. So hang on one second, guys. I am blowing my nose, but you don't Okay, much better. So I think every 30 minutes I still have to blow my nose, and it's just something you guys don't need to hear. So, but it's still draining. The Mucinex worked wonders. I don't know if you guys use Mucinex, but I wasn't using it because I thought it would dry me out. The last time, like for a few years ago when I got sick the last time, I took Mucinex and it really dried me out. So I was afraid to take it. But on Tuesday, Diane was here and she's like, you need to take a Mucinex. And so I took one, and within an hour, my nose opened up, and it was, so I've only taken 4 of them since Tuesday, but it's just enough to loosen up the gunk, okay, which is what I'm needing. Sorry, you guys don't need to know all that, but I feel like, yeah, I just don't know how to not say it. So anyways, so, all right, we have a year-end guessing game, and we have a scavenger hunt. Let's talk about the scavenger hunt first. They are harder and harder to pull out of thin air for you guys because, so I've been doing a scavenger hunt now, and this time we changed it to a word search. I have to say I started doing scavenger hunts. I became a demonstrator in 13, and my upline, Doris Fryman, who's no longer a demonstrator, was doing a scavenger hunt. And I basically, she kind of left Stampin' Up! And stopped doing the scavenger hunt. And I thought, oh, this would be a great thing to do for my community. So I've been doing a scavenger hunt probably since 2017. And it started off like 2 columns asking questions, and it was really meant for people to get familiar with the catalog. And it was very helpful. It never meant to cause anybody any undue hardship or stress or crying or hating me or like misery. I seem to always have one question that people hated the most, which was always like, so many hearts, how many hearts can you find in the catalog in the form of a stamp? Or how many snowflakes, right? There was always a question that made you search for how many of something that there was a lot of in the catalog. And that was always the question that people hated the most. And so I did a scavenger hunt with every catalog without fail. And I haven't missed one. We just morphed this last one for the holiday mini catalog into something that looked more like a scavenger hunt. Sorry, not a word puzzle type thing. And with the change of the catalog last year, the annual catalog got really wonky on us last year, and it was really hard to find things. And I think it was the least amount of people that did the word search or my scavenger hunt for the annual catalog. I think there was less than 8 people that did it. Where the one that I had done prior to that, I had over 25 people that had done it. So we took a chance and we tried something new, and not that people hated it, but they didn't like it, right? And then we did, so that was the annual catalog. And then for the fall, like, I don't know what it was. Life is so busy with everything else that's going on, and these things to me are secondary or third, right? There's other things that need to take precedence, like designing classes, kitting classes, getting stuff ready for the helpers, answering emails. Like the list goes on, all the things that need to happen before we do the fun things per se. And so this scavenger hunt word search, it really didn't get published till sometime in like the second week of December, and people had all of December to complete it. And I'm happy to report I have a bunch of people that did this, which was good. Hi Mimi from, she said, hola amiga. Hola to you too, my friend, mi amiga. You made it to the questions and answers. Yeah. So I'm going to list off people that did this. And I believe I have almost everybody, but you guys know it's hard to always stay on top of all the emails, and sometimes things fall between the cracks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off everybody who I have their scavenger hunt back. I'm going to keep calling it scavenger hunt because that's what it is up here. It's a word search, but it's a scavenger hunt. I'm going to read off your name. So if you're watching this, I'm going to give you till the end of the weekend, right? And I'm going to do drawings for this maybe Monday. But I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody, and that's why I want to make sure I give you guys, because I know a lot of you who watch me, you might not always be able to catch me live, and you might catch it a day later or 2 days later. So what I'm going to do, it's Friday. You have till Sunday night. On Monday morning, I'm going to plan to do the random drawings, and almost everybody did 100%. There might have been 1 or 2 that didn't get it, but they might have had one thing wrong. So what I want to do is just randomly take everybody's names, give everybody a number, and do the random number generator like I always do. So I'm going to read off names. So if you think, or if you know you sent this in to me either via mail or email, or you dropped it off, some people did drop it off, and I don't call your name, you need to just let me know, like by Sunday night, so I can make sure I include you in my drawings, okay? So I have, in no particular order, the sheets here. I have Susan Bellamy. She's watching. Yay. Hi, Jamie Kirkpatrick. Make sure you're very strong decongestant with the Mucinex. Otherwise, you'll get stuck in your nose and sinuses. Okay, yeah. Over the lunch hour, I hate to take Mucinex. Sorry, I'm getting it sidetracked. But I hate to take Mucinex on an empty stomach. So when I go in for lunch is what I'm planning to take my next one. So I should be good to go. Or I might be draining during the next live. But we'll whatever. So we're going to start at Susan Bellamy. And I think you're watching, Susan. So I have yours. I have Judy Sharps. I know you're watching, Judy Sharp. I have Susan Warmly. I also have Anna Rebedu. I have Janice Ormiston. I know you're watching, Janice. Carmen Sanders, I forgot to call you back after class last night. Oh my goodness, because I got involved with the printer and honey, and then it was 10 o'clock. Okay, so I have Carmen Sanders. We'll need to chat today. Connie Moore, you're also watching, I believe. I have yours. All right, Deb Norman. I have yours in my hand here, and you're watching right now too. And then Jenny Knutson, I have yours. Karen Wetstein, I know you're watching. I have yours. Angelique McClendon, I have yours. I also have Jean Maxwell's. I have Linda Hunt. And I have Sandy Coy Emery. Okay? So, just really quick, I'm going to repeat that really fast so that you guys, in case you missed, Susan Bellamy, Judy Sharp, Susan Warmly, Anna Rebedu, Janice Ormiston, Carmen Sanders, Connie Moore, Deb Norman, Jenny Knutson, Karen Wetstein, Angelique McClendon, Linda Hunt, Sandy Coy Emery, and Jean Maxwell. Okay. So, if I did not call your name and you turned it in by whenever it was due, the 31st of December, maybe? I know we missed the whole month of January doing this. So just know that you can still send me an email. If you have the original email and you want to forward it to me, just forward it to me. Or if you just want to say, hey, well, yeah, that's maybe what you should do. Just forward it to me so I have it. And I guess it doesn't matter if like you're grading along with and you got one wrong. I'm going to include everybody. I feel like including everybody. This was generally an easier challenge for you guys. And so I don't want to disclude somebody because you had a different answer, because some of them could have taken a different answer. So, all right, we have here, I'm gonna, Susan Bellamy's in front of me because I did not print a copy for myself, you guys. So we're gonna use Susan's. And I think she got 100. So just one second, I'm gonna blow my nose. Okay, all's good. So what we did, so I have to give a big, one more hand. I have to give a big shout out to Luann Bartling and to Jolene LaJoy. Without those two amazing, lovely ladies, we wouldn't have had a search for you guys to do. Luann Bartling, she got this and put this all together. She hand wrote all of this stuff on paper and mailed it to me. And then I took pictures of it and I sent it to Jolene. And Jolene helped put it into an electronic format that it looks like it does. And then actually the third person that got their hands on it was Kelly Lamb. And Kelly made it look pretty with all the bees and the honeycomb stuff. So it was actually 3 gals that made it be possible. So I want to give a shout out to Luann and Jolene and to Kelly for helping us be able to do this. All right. So what it was is it was split into 2 different things. And what happens on this side, it was a word scramble. So what we did is we had all these letters and they were scrambled and you had to come up with what the word is. And so this word was elegance, and there was a circle around a letter, which in this case it ended up being C. And then down here, the circled ones, and you had a clue here, all those circled letters, you had to figure out what the main word was at the bottom here. So this one was reindeer, so we needed the N. This one was Christmas, and it had the I and the A. This one is sense, but it's nests. And then this one was hard for me. When I first got it from Luann, I had no idea what Gilar was. It was regal. And then this one is splendid. And then this last one was one of a kind. And so when you have all these circled letters, it made another word. And the clue to it was, many of us feel this way during the holidays. And it is nostalgic. I definitely agree with that. There's something about getting together year after year with family. And I think the older I get now, the more I reminisce about what my parents used to do for us with the holidays, and my grandpa Haas and my grandma Haas, and how involved they were. My grandpa, through the years when we were young, he would always just be so witty and funny, and so when these stories come up year after year, that it helps you remember the things from the past. I remember baking Christmas cookies with my grandma and grandpa Haas. So my mom was basically grew up in the house where my grandparents lived, and my dad and my mom took over the farmhouse and the farm. And so my grandma and grandpa Haas built a little ranch style house across the road where now my mom's really good friends live. And so my grandma and grandpa were right across the road. So we spent a lot of time by my grandparents, and my grandpa was always over on the farm, and they would always just be over. And so we were really close to my mom and my mom's parents. We're close to my dad's parents too, but they, not that this is a far ways away, but they lived like 3 miles down the road, and they were more involved with my cousins that stayed closer to that farm. And so, and my aunt and uncle that were on that farm. And so my grandma and grandpa Haas were always over, and my grandpa he would be Santa when we were little and deliver the presents while we were at church, or we would be out in the barn, and my grandpa would be Santa Claus and deliver all the presents. And so it was always good. So that is the word, is nostalgic, and is so true. And we have that feeling more and more when we get together at the holidays. Easter was another one too that was really special. Growing up on a farm is an experience I will never trade for anything. It taught me so much stuff about responsibility for animals, and like taking care of things and picking up after yourself and helping clean. And even though you didn't want to do things or you didn't feel good, you still had to do it all, right? And so my grandpa for Easter, what the nostalgic thing for Easter is, up in the hay barn, my grandpa would go, so my mom, we would all hard boil eggs and my mom would hard boil them, and we'd all decorate them. And the Easter bunny, my grandpa, would go hide them up in the haymow, and he would take his hand and make a little nest, and then he would bury the eggs. And we, needless to say, we would always know how many eggs were there, but we could never always find them all. So in the springtime, we'd find old rotten eggs, right? But the Easter bunny would deliver eggs. And so now that, like, my grandparents have been gone for over 20 years, they passed away. My grandma and grandpa Haas were 2001 and 2003, and on the same day. 2 years later was when my grandma passed. And so that's many years ago. But so now there's the second generation, or I should say my nieces and nephews are all the age now that we were when my grandpa was doing that. So my brother Tom, he'll go up and he will make the nests in the haymow and go hide the eggs up there, so all my nieces and nephews can get a similar experience, and we're carrying on that tradition. So anyways, I wasn't expecting to talk about all of that with the word nostalgic, but that is what came up in my thoughts when I saw that word today. So anyways, all right, so nostalgic. I'm sure that you guys have lots of different things that you can remember growing up too for the nostalgic part of the holidays. Okay, so for this one, now this is a different kind of a section. This was a word search in itself, and what happened was we had clues down here, and I know it's so hard to read. I'm so sorry. I know that sometimes the eyes are not the greatest, but like there was a number, and then there was a little arrow that showed which way things went, and hopefully that helped you. And ultimately what we were trying to do was get to another clue, so the big clue to a minor clue, or the last clue I should say. So if you aren't feeling especially creative, pick up a blank such as a memories and more. And that was kit, the word kit, which is right here. And then number 2 is walking through one of these can be a frightening Halloween experience, and it is a haunted home. Now, I do realize that this was supposed to be from the mini catalog, and that is not exactly an answer that came from the mini catalog. And and now that Kelly tried to attempt to do a live, the answer came because of, I believe, the kit that was the haunted home kit. And Kelly literally just put this together, I think, yesterday. And she had so many struggle buses of being able to get that done for you guys that her video stopped and she thought it was recording, and we went back and checked later and it wasn't there. But anyways, she's going to do, for those that missed it, she is planning to not redo the haunted house. She is going to talk through it and walk through it and give her advice because it was a struggle for her. And if it's a struggle for her, she wants to share with how she would make it more efficient or how you would get through it on your own if you got it. So we were here yesterday kidding, and Rhonda said that, oh man, I just bought the haunted home kit and it's going to be delivered today. So Rhonda's bringing her kit over here. And over the weekend, Kelly's going to pop on with a live sometime, and she's going to do Rhonda's kit into an alternative version. And I think that there was a gingerbread house that was done out there, and so I'm going to try to find that and show that to Kelly so she knows what to work on. But so she's going to do another video and piggyback off of it, and so that you guys will get to hear and see about the haunted home, and then you'll get to see how to revamp it, and then that will help you determine if you want this haunted home kit or not. So, all right. So that was the answer. And again, sorry, it was not about the mini catalog per se. There was so much buffering. Oh, I know. Oh, so sorry about that. We wondered if it had something to do with Jake's iPad. He was watching shows. Jake was sick yesterday, so he didn't go to school, but Kelly wanted to get the live done. She didn't want to miss it, so she brought Jake in, and we wondered if it was taking too much juice and the buffering was happening. And then when Kelly asked Jake to shut off, he had a little bit of a temper tantrum so it all escalated. The video ended, and that's how it went. And so and I feel bad because here Kelly kept going and thinking it was recording, and then it never recorded, and so she could have gotten Jake home sooner. I don't know. It is what it is. Like, we can't change the past, but all we can do is move forward. And so we felt bad about it, but you guys, we can't fix it. So it was difficult to get that together. I got mine in the fall. Yeah, it was difficult. So she's going to try to help you guys so that it's not difficult if you haven't done it yet. These are always unique and one of a kind. Snowflakes. Make someone's Christmas bright and beautiful with one of these flowers, an amaryllis. If you're wishing someone, If you're wishing someone a cozy day, they are surrounded by frozen edges. That's because cozy day is a stamp in that stamp set. Welcome to our humble home. You use the stamp set if you're baking spirits bright. That one is number 7. Sweetest star. Have a very Merry Christmas with 8. I don't remember it off the top of my head. Christmas friends. We hope the beauty of this seasonal stamp set fills your heart with joy. Autumn expressions. I'm sending love your way. If I created a card using this sweet regal winter. Hi, Donna Gruski. And then what happened was where the numbers are. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4 through 11, 12 through 20. And you were supposed to pull those letters out, and it made the word sentimental Christmas. Oh, actually what happened, like wherever you have a gray square, there was a number in it, and it's really hard to read it on this copy, but it says Stampin' Up! Will make a $3 donation to organizations dedicated to children when you buy them. And it was Sentimental Christmas. Now, I just literally got an email from Stampin' Up! And it talked about how much they got for the donation. I wonder if I have it handy here. They sent it Tuesday, so maybe it's in the beginning of the day. That was Monday. So I think I read, and I don't know if I can find it really quick here. Stampin' Up! I feel like it was in our weekly updates. If I find that was yesterday. It was from Tuesday. That was yesterday. You guys, there's so many emails. That's Wednesday. Hang on, Wednesday. And then does it go back to Tuesday? Okay. I think it had an update. It would have been from Stampin' Up! Online order. I'm just going to take one. I'm going to get to Tuesday here. you guys see now that there's lots of emails that come in. I don't make these things up. Yeah, nope, that's last chance. That's not it. Okay, I can't find it. But, oh, here, Succeed Weekly. That's what I was looking for. I feel like it was in here that it talked about it. It was here. Nope, that's not it. Okay, I just read where I thought it was about $86,000 is what Stampin' Up! Donated to and they had, who saw that email? Did somebody see that? If you're a demonstrator, did you see that from Stampin' Up? I thought it was $86,000, but I don't know if they said where they donated it to. But $86,000 is a little chunk of change. If you do the math on that, if you take $86,000 divided by 3, that means they sold 28,667 packs or something like that. That's a lot of packs of that paper, okay? We did help support that because Sentimental Christmas was the order-based class for the month of October. And I believe we needed about 8 packs to do that class. So so if you got that Sentimental Christmas class for me, you are part of that number. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is wait over the weekend, and I'm going to take everybody's name and assign a number to them, and I will do a random number generator. And so how about so there were what, 15 people? I'll do 2 prizes for this, and I'll randomly pick 2 names, and then those people will win some prizes. And I will, when I have my next class, I'll announce who they were. How about that? Like next week. So when I have my next class, probably it'll be on Wednesday for Share, Create, Inspire. I will share who the winners are. Okay. So on to the guessing game. Okay. So I'm going to read through the question, and then I'm going to tell you the answer, and I'm going to tell you who I think the winner is, or I should say Kelly thinks the winner is, because Kelly went through every one of the posts and she pulled the person who was closest for their answer. And it didn't matter if you were over or under. So we didn't look at that. You had to be like under, like, so if the answer was 10 and you guessed 11 and the other person guessed 8, 11 was closer than 10. Okay, that's how we looked at it. It didn't matter if you were over. Now, I am going to put a disclaimer out here that I'm not going to say that these are the official winners. I'm going to say who we thought when we searched through, I should say Kelly searched through. If you guessed closer and you think that you are the winner, then just send me a screenshot so I can see it and say, hey, you just did the year-end guessing game. On question number 1, you had this person winning at this guess, but I guessed this, and here's a screenshot of it, and you said the answer is this. I think that I was closer. Can you just double check? Okay, we'll double check. No problem, right? So that's why I'm not saying that these are the official winners, because Kelly may have missed, right? She does her best, and she's human, and not saying that she made a mistake, but I'm not saying she isn't capable of it, and maybe she missed your answer and you were closer. And that's why I'm saying I'm going to tell you guys who we thought the answer goes to for the winner, but all I have to say is just let me know very nicely that, hey, I think that it might have been my answer that was the closest one. Can you just double check that? I'll check, okay? So just that's what I want to say. I'm going to put that out there. No problem, okay? If we had any ties, then I was going to do a random number generator so that there was one winner for each question. And it's the first thing mentioned in the weekly updates, and it says over 86,000, but doesn't say to who just, or yeah, okay, perfect. So Karen just confirmed it. What, 86,000? See, I read that on Tuesday morning, and I remembered that number, so I'm very kind of proud of myself there. All right, I will also say that Honey, you guys, Honey, this is what Honey does. Honey does this to when she goes in the printer. This is what Honey did as well. So I told you she goes in and she tries to get the paper when it's coming in and back out. So that's our little lady for us. Okay, are you guys ready? Here we go. So many okay, so let's play a guessing game. This was from the end of December to the end of December. So it started sometime like around the 23rd or 22nd, and it went all the way to the 31st. I asked a question every day, and sometimes there were 2 questions a day. And I'm very proud that we had no scammers, to my knowledge. In years past, there were always people that were deceitful, or robots or bots or whatever that were deceitful, that were saying, oh, so-and-so won, and you should claim your prize by clicking here. Blah. No, only I feel bad. Only one person ever told me that they clicked on the link and then their credit card got compromised and they had to get a new credit card. And I'll never forget that because I felt horrible that they had to do that. But also know that anytime something's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. And I have it right in the top that says, I am not going to announce winners until I do this video. So always know that if you ever see a scammer on my Facebook page, you are welcome to report and block them and send me a screenshot so I can also report and block it immediately so nobody falls prey to this kind of stupid stuff, that people should get their day jobs in line. Then we don't have to deal with, anyways, that's a rant. But okay, so let's play a guessing game. Now you know how I really feel about those kind of people or things. From now through the end of the year, questions will be posted on this page. All right, so the first question was, so many classes were offered in 2024. How many unique classes or events were offered to customers this past year? It did not include team events or demonstrator only events. So we technically did not include like the escapes in there, but this year for like the Winter Creative Escape, we had a bunch of customers that also participated in the escape. So Chris is watching. I think for this coming year, we'll include the escapes in these numbers. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But anyways, so how many unique classes? So the answer for 2024 was 138, right? And if you're curious about growth, we've been tracking these numbers since I've been doing this. This is my third year of doing the guessing game questions. So the year of 2023 was 119, and for 2022 it was 107. So that's telling me we keep adding more things to do. That means Chris doesn't know how to say no when she sees like an idea to do a class. So 138 is what the answer was for 2024. We noted or saw that Laura Sullivan guessed 140. So we would say that Laura Sullivan was closest. So if you guessed I would say is if you guessed between 136 to 140, you might go back and check what your answer was. And if you fall in that line, then send me a note and tell me what you guessed. Send me a screenshot of it so I don't have to go back and look it up. But I would say at this moment, Laura Sullivan was the winner for that question. But now you've given the answers to everyone. What do you mean? Sandy Coy, now I've given the answers to everyone. Yeah, because we're going through the answers. I'm not certain if you mean something by that. So yeah, we're done collecting these answers. So I'm going through the winners. No, I don't. You guys, sometimes you say a comment, and this happened with me with Doris Munson last night. I read it 3 times, and I don't. Your brain is thinking about something. So I'm not sure exactly, Sandy. But now you've given the answers to everyone, laughing out loud. So I don't know. Well, I don't know. You'll have to rephrase that so I understand what you're saying. Number 2. Now that you guessed how many unique classes, think about how many times these unique classes were offered and multiply them out by how many times each class was offered. Can you guess how many total classes, events were offered to customers this year? So that means that when I do a suite class, I do the suite class online with you guys. I do it in person twice, on a Saturday and also on a weekend night. Okay, monthly class. I offer that one 4 times. I do it twice on a Monday, once on a weekend, and then online with you guys. So that's 4, right? So I'm saying, we had 138 unique classes, but now multiply that out by how many times we had. So now this number has gone down. So you said you were giving people through the weekend to get their forms. No. That's not what I said. What I said was, if you completed if you completed this and you emailed, I asked for it to be emailed to me. I need you to forward the email to me so that I can get your answers. That means that you would have had to email it to me by December 31st. If I missed saying your name, you have to show me that you sent it to me. Not doing it now. No, Sandy. I think that's not what if I said it like that, that is not what I meant. I meant that if I missed your name, I need to know when you sent it to me. And if you could forward it to me via email, that proves that you did it by the day it was due. I'm not taking new ones. And I would know if you did it recently because you wouldn't have proof, right? Okay, so that's what I mean. So no, you can't just do this now. It's if you did it and sent it to me by December, I think it was due December 31st, okay? All right, so question 2, thank you for clarifying that. I really appreciate, now I know what you were asking about. because I was like, no, that didn't make sense to me. Okay, so multiplying that out, in 2024, we had 199 classes or events for customers. Like the Stamp and Fun in the Sun, we did that 5 days in a row, so that got counted 5 times. So 199. Oh, if we could have done one more, we would have hit 200. So in 2023, the answer was 207. So we had gone down. And in 2022, we had 212. So what's happening, I believe, is we realized that there must have been a class that we decided not to do it in. So like Memories and More, I think we didn't do an in-person version or I don't know, something like that. The in-person version didn't happen because we had nobody sign up for it, maybe. Something like that. But we're still really close. We're hovering around the 200s. So the person who we think answered the closest to 199 was April Anderson, and she guessed 195. So she was within 4. So if you had 203 between, I guess if you had between 195 and 203, let me know, because you would potentially be the winner of this one. But if nobody else comes forward by the end of the weekend, I'm going to give you guys till Sunday to let me know this too. Because what my goal is I'm going to have these prizes figured out by Monday so that we can include them in people's packages if they need to get mailed. So we have April Anderson with 195, right? Got it. Okay, I'm glad you got it. So now Sandy. All right, everyone has a favorite. Instead of guessing for this post, can you share what your favorite class was this past year? And this was, I wanted everybody to have an opportunity to answer the question. And there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 29 people. 29 people that answered the question. All right. So what was your favorite? You can shout it out right now if you want. I love the lavender set. We did a lavender class for ink, paper, scissors, and we did a lavender class for the suite. And I love that class. It was just, anything purple I absolutely love. I don't know if it was necessarily my favorite, but that's the one that sticks out to me a lot. So because everybody gets in on this one, I'm going to flip down. I'm going to do a random number generator. I think I said 29. Number 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 would be Mary Lemke. Now, my deal with the guessing game questions is I wanted, like normal, I love as many people to win as possible. So if we had any duplicate winners, what I would do is take the next one in line. So if Mary ends up winning something else down the road, then I don't think she has those. So I think Mary Lemke, you're good to go on that one. So, and I didn't write down what Kelly wrote a list, but she didn't tell me what people's favorites were. I didn't think that was worth writing everybody's favorites, but Mary Lemke had a favorite and she won because of it. So awesome. Guessing how many classes is one thing. Now can you guess how many cards projects were kitted up for all these classes? My helpers feel this. They feel it. Tammy and her mom, Sandy, brought back their round of die cutting for February, which included all the classes, less Rose's Technique Club class, which we haven't kitted yet, and I haven't even prepped it yet. I was going to try to work on that today. And it didn't include Sale-a-Bration Hoorah, because that got designed a little bit after the helpers all got their stuff. And so Tammy had a little Post-it note in there that said 3,550 pieces or something close to that is what she and her mom die cut for February. Now that's just what Tammy and her mom did. That wasn't Anna and that wasn't Karen Forward. It wasn't Karen Wetstein with what she would die cut or punch. Rhonda also helped do some die cutting this month. So just on 2 people, that's what they did. So they feel this. So it was 30,155 card kits and 1,180 projects for a total of 31,335. Now that number has grown. In 2023, it was 27,700. So that means we're about 3,000 more over last year. And in 2022, we had 20,400. So we went up by 7,000 between 22 and 23. And so that was a big jump for us, you guys. So if you wonder about that and you wonder, oh, she didn't get back to me with an email, think about that. That's how many more people are taking classes with me, because that those numbers speak to what we're working on daily, weekly, monthly. And so the answer again was 31,335. Cheryl Gramlich, I think you're watching. You guessed 32,500. So you were off by less than 1,000. I think it's like 800 if I can do math in my head today. I could be wrong. Just saying math is hard sometimes. So if you guessed closer to, so 31,335 was the answer. And Cheryl guessed 32,500, 31,335. So she was off by 1,165. So if you were closer than that, please let me know, and we'll declare the correct winner. But in our books, we're showing Cheryl. From cards to customers, can you guess how many unique customers purchased a class from me, got a free class with a purchase, or placed an order with me? Because sometimes people place orders and they don't want classes with me too. So this number was to just share with you how many people I personally work with on either a day-to-day, weekly, a monthly. Sometimes people get classes quarterly. Sometimes people get one class a year. And so this number was to try to show you, I feel like a broken record a lot when I say I've got lots of emails. But so it'll make sense to you why I have a lot of emails. When I tell you the number was 437 people. It feels like some days I talk to 50 to 100 people in a day, either via email, on the phone. There's a lot, right? And I love it all. I absolutely love it all. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But it helps put it into perspective of, oh man, she didn't get back to me today. She didn't call me back today. Why didn't she call me back today? It's never personal, you guys. She didn't email me back today. It's never personal, right? I just have a lot going on, and I'm always trying to get back to as many people as I can, as promptly as I can. And it never hurts my feelings if you take an email that you sent me 3 days ago and then resend it to me and say, hey, I never heard back from you on this, just bringing it to the top of your email again. Because that's what happens. I work from newest to oldest because my screen always bumps me. If I go down to December to work on an email, as soon as I get done with it, it takes me to the top. And then all of a sudden 3 more people have emailed me, and I'll work on those. And then I'll have to scroll all the way down. And so never hurts my feelings to say, hey, I sent you an email on this day. Here it is. Bring it to the top. And then you know what? It gets answered. And that happens when I go on vacation, or if I take a day and I'm kidding with the girls for a full day and I'm not in my emails. Never hurts my feelings, you guys, to sending something back to me. Don't do it like the next day, but give me a few days. And with Krista helping now, that really helps. You guys, she got about 60 or 70. I know, Krista, if you're still watching, she got so many emails in that first, when she started managing. So she knows what it's like. So 437 is the answer. Now, that did go down. Get this. That did go down from the year before. The year before in 2023, it was 585. But in 2022, it was 332. So even from 2022, I was at 332 to now 2 years later, 437. That was 100 more people. So think about how 2023 was for me, you guys, having 585 people that I was working with. So the person who guessed closest that we saw was Ellen Brover from Florida. She guessed 447, so she was off by 10. So if you are within 10, let me know, and we'll make that right. Now that you guessed how many unique customers took classes, can you guess how many classes the number one class taker took this past year? I think this person should win a special prize for being number one. So the answer is my pal from Florida, Susan Bellamy. She took 76 classes with me. Thank you, Susan. You are amazing. I got to see Susan down in Florida. I went and visited my team down in Florida this past 2 weeks ago when I went down to Florida. And we had a nice little crew with us. And Susan was one of them. So that's the second time I had met her, which is awesome. It's always great to be able to put faces to names, and then it has a better connection and more bond. And so, Susan, you were it. So I'm going to figure out a special prize for you, and I will be in touch with you. You probably have every stamp or bundle that you probably ever want, but I have a little arsenal of bundles that I might take a picture of and send you a bundle of your choice. But just so you know, you bettered your best. You bettered your best by a bunch in the last quarter, and so you have a storybook garden, I think, coming, and that's still on its way here, and I'll make sure that's in your package, so you'll have that bundle for certain. Okay, so after we have Susan Bellamy, I have a second and a third place, just so you guys can know. Sandy Coy Emery, thank you also. You were number 2 with 72 classes. I appreciate you so much. And Feline Mays and Sandy Wickland are tied for 70. Super cool. So in 2024, we had some top people too. And those numbers that they had were 85, 84, and 80. So people, the numbers have dropped back a little bit, but they're still like, I have a lot of people that take almost every single class with me. And for that, I'm grateful, you guys. You keep supporting my crazy. Oh yeah. You keep me busy and out of trouble. So the answer was 76. And Pat Fleming, you guessed 72. So you were within 4. So we're calling you the winner at the moment. But if anybody comes forward to me and says, hey, I guessed closer, we might have to retract that. But Pat, at the moment, you have 72, and the answer was 76. There was over 30 emails the day after the showcase, and another 30 the day after that. And then it was a little overwhelming, but I worked through it and got a system for the next round. Very good, you guys. Yes, this first month was definitely a transitional learning curve for both me and Carissa, and I think that I feel relieved going into shipping day on Friday, next Tuesday. We have a lot to get through yet. I feel like there's still a lot to get through, but I feel the bulk of the signups is good. She helped put a lot of pressure off of me. So, all right. And thank you to that, Chris. I really appreciate it. But yeah, so she had 60 emails in 2 days, you guys. And so that was amazing. All right, let's move on to stamp sets. You guys, I like to showcase as much as I possibly can. I know it's buffering a little bit. I see the buffering happening. So just hang tight. Hopefully it doesn't keep buffering too much. But if it does keep buffering and it bothers you, just know that I'm going to keep this video going and you can always catch the replay. Let's move on to stamp sets. I try to showcase as many stamp sets throughout the year as I can. I try not to use the same stamp set over and over and over again. So Carissa helps me keep track of how many unique stamp sets were featured in the past years. And in 2024, the answer was 110. In 23, it was 90. So we had 20 more stamp sets that we featured. And then in 2022, it was 101 Dalmatians. No, just kidding. So the person who guessed closest that we see is Jenny Knutson. She guessed 107. So she was within 3. So if you were within 3 as well, just let me know. All right. So congratulations to Jenny Knutson. Can you guess which specific class this past year had the highest attendance out of all of them? All right. If you wondered if it was the perennial lavender or the painted lavender, which is the same thing, one's the bundle, one's the suite, then IPS, perennial lavender, 132 kits for that class. And there were 4 cards. We made 96, and then we made, I think, 16 or 12 more, and then we made more. I remember it was 3 rounds of kitting for that one, and they were getting sick of it, you guys. My helpers were like, can we just be done with this class? Can you put it in the past? 132 was the answer for 2024. Oh Holy Night was 108 in 23, and there was a Fun Folds Holiday Edition in 22 that had the most. And so we have 2 winners that I have here, but both of them at the moment were winners of other questions. So we have to figure out something for this, because again, I mentioned that I want 1 winner, so that you can't win 2 prizes, right? So Jenny Knutson, you tied with Cheryl Gremlitz. You guys picked the painted lavender IPS. And so at the moment, if Jenny still holds her number 7 title, and if Cheryl holds her number 4 title, I would pick a different winner for this one. But if somebody comes forward and says to me for number 4 or number 7 that somebody else wins it, then one of you would get this other one. So, okay, so I'm going to leave it pending for the moment. The answer is 132 though, okay? This one, was whatever number it ends up being. Did you know I have a loyalty class program? So attendance program. When you pay the class fee to take classes with me, you get a punch. And when you pay for 10 classes, you get a free class. So can you guess how many classes were earned from customers being loyal to me? And you guys might or may not know this. Most of you that take classes and pay for them to me, you know it, because I've been trying throughout the year. We try to do it on a quarterly basis. That always doesn't happen. we try to catch up with it at the end of the year, which usually happens, but then we have some rollover to the next year, and it's still February, and we still have people that are getting their classes earned. they're being notified. And what happens is when you register for a class, we try to remember it and say, hey, you got a free class with the loyalty program. And sometimes we just forget to look at the sheet when we're doing it, but we're trying to make good notes. There are a few people that I show need to get them yet, like Becky Gandolfo, Carmen Melendez, Christina Heiser, you've got one coming. Debbie Stone has one. Gwen, I think you still have one. There's a few people that need them. So if you're like, oh shoot, did I not get this? Just know I just got an updated list from Carissa about 2 weeks ago, and we're going to continue to work through giving people their free classes from 2024. But we did do a lot of them. I would have to say there's only like maybe 20 classes left that we need to give to people. But the question is, how many did we give away? Or how many were earned, I should say. How many were earned? Some of them haven't gotten cashed in yet. Hi, Susan. Feels like a -7. Brr is right. The answer is 154 in 2024, which is pretty cool. In 2023 was 132, and in 22 was 116. So as I grow, more people are getting more free classes, which is awesome. So the winner chicken dinner is Miss Judy Immel from what I saw. She guessed 153, and with the answer being 154, she was only one away. So if anybody's closer, like you'd have to be either at 155 or 154, you would tie. Let me know. The Be Happy Stampers is the name of my amazing team, my amazing community and team. I love all my bees, and we welcome new bees with open wings. On January 5th, there was an amazing joining special, and we would be honored for you to join the team. And so this was as of December 31st, how many bees were on the team. It was 125, and in 2023 it was 120, and in 2022 it was 85. So there was a big jump, you guys, in 2023, there was a big jump. That was 35 more between that time period, and then 5 more from 23 to 24. Now, there was a sign-up special that started on January 7th. And I wrote on here the 5th. It was wrong. It was the 7th is when sale-a-bration started. We now have about 20 more bees on the team. I think we're like at 144. I just looked. It's 144 bees are on the team. And it's amazing. So I'm not looking for the answer for now. I'm looking for what it was in December. And Trisha Fagley guessed 124. So she was within one. And Jeannie Parker, she guessed 126. So she was one above and Trisha was one below. And so what I'll do is a random number generator to pick one of you to be the winner. And you guys are really close. That was awesome. So I will be talking more about joining my team and where you can find things for my team if you're on it in the navigation video. So I'm going to have a whole section for Be Happy Stampers. All right, everyone has a first name, and some of you have the same first name as a lot of others. So this happened like a couple years ago when my mom and I were kidding, and I said, gosh, there was a lot of so-and-so names, and I think that one at that time was Linda. Let me just see here. Oh, Sue. It was Sue. In 2022, it was Sue, and that's when this question kind of stirred in my head. So the answer in 2022 is Sue. The answer in 2023 was Mary. And so in 2024, it changed. And it was Kate, Kathy, Kathleen, with a C or with a K. So there's a lot of, I don't remember, if it's like 35, there's 35 Kates or Ks or Kathys or Kathleen, like that version, right? And Lori Helgeson and Tiffany McGill both guessed that. So if anybody else did, please let me know if you picked, like it was Kat, Kathy, Kate, Kathy with a C, Kathy with a K, doesn't matter. C or K's, doesn't matter. Kathleen. So that version, or there, and if there's a variation of it too, that was all like rolling up through the full name of not Carolyn, but Kathleen or Catherine. It was like the Cats and the Kathys and the Kathleens and Catherines, right? That all kind of was like one grouping for me because you all end up together in my alphabetical order by first name. So I had Lori Helgeson and Tiffany McGill. Now, if you guessed any version of the Kathy to Catherine to Kathleen, please let me know. We can make sure we get you added to the random number generator when I do it. So I'm not declaring a winner for that. I have a birthday card club to those in my community of stampers who take classes, shop with me, and are on my team. One requirement is I need your birthday. Another requirement is you kind of have to be current with me. If you haven't ordered from me or taken classes with me in over 2 years, it's hard. I've grown a lot in the last couple of years, and it's hard to keep people in my database that haven't supported me in the last couple of years. I usually have a threshold of over, if it's within a year. So when I'm working in this year, I look at what you did last year with me. So if you didn't do anything last year with me, but you did in 2022, I would kind of like take you out of the list. I'm at about between 24 and 30 cards that I send for my customers and my team on a monthly basis. That gets to be a lot. My mom helps me with that, and she keeps me going with that. Every month she comes to me and she says, send me your list. And my printer prints all wonky, so I will send her a PDF and she prints it on her printer because her printer's the print's nicer. I have to do a little searching on my printer and find out why it starts out perfect and then it ends. But my mom even prints the labels for me, you guys. And then she helps me write out the notes. And then so just because I don't necessarily have involvement with the writing of the note, my mom does. And my mom sends a lot of love too. And so I do help pick out all the cards and we lay them out. My mom and I do it as a process, right? We do it every month. We've done this now. I would have to say I've been sending birthday cards since 2016 or 17, something like that. I haven't missed a month at all. And they're always on time. And they're only on time because my mom, and that's why we get it done. So I have a birthday card club and it's been forever. And the numbers have gone down because I've gotten more selective about it. In 2022, we had 516 cards we sent out. In 2023, it was 451. And in 2024, my notes show 391. And that is because my mom said to me, you can't keep sending cards out to people who aren't supporting you in your business and part of your active community. So there you go. That's why we have gone down. And I have to be okay with that because it gets to be a lot of work to send stuff to people who don't care to get stuff from you anymore. So 391 was the answer. And Emily Zoomer, I don't know who you are. I know a lot of people, you guys. I really do. I get to know a lot of people from my lives. I get to know a lot of people from reaching out to me. I recognize and remember names like a hawk, okay? I don't recognize Emily Zoomer. So Emily, I have you noted that you guessed 398. So you were within 7, and I don't know who you are. So if you do watch me on a regular basis, and nobody else guesses closer than you did, I need to send you a prize. I would like to send you a prize, but I don't have your address. So you would have to reach out to me to let me know what your address is to mail you a prize. Same thing for Tiffany McGill. I don't know your name by just looking at your name. Otherwise, everybody else who guessed in the guessing game challenge, I know everybody else. And I generally do, you guys. I try to have connections with everybody that I work with on a more than not knowing who you are. And I remember lots of things, okay? If you've taken a class with me, if you've bought product from me, if you buy tools from me, I don't forget people very easily. So, and so that you guys are special to me. You help me and you support me. So I appreciate that so much. Hi, Marianne. So we made it through all the answers. And I mentioned that I will give people till Sunday night. And by Monday morning, I will be wrapping up who the final winners are. And because there's a chunk here, I'm going to try to get back on track sending my winners post. I fell off the bandwagon on the winner's post. It was one more thing on my pile. And I was working in it back in sometime in the summer, and I ended up redoing it 3 times because every time I went to hit publish, my screen would freeze. And I was like, done. I couldn't do it. I had spent 30 minutes trying to do a winner's post, and I don't have 30 minutes to do a winner's post. Sorry, I don't. But what happens is I keep a log of everybody who wins stuff, and I send prizes out. So you guys have been getting cards and prizes from me. I just haven't been doing a winner's post. And if I don't have your address, I don't know where to send things to. So I have a little pile that is sitting over here of cards of people that have won them, and I don't have their addresses. So at some point, and I did this last year, I think, I went through people who I don't have their addresses for, and I did a walkthrough of who I need addresses for, and I gave everybody one more opportunity to try to claim their cards. And I might do that again soon. And so just a note that you have till Sunday for either one of these 2 challenges that I had. And if I don't hear from people disputing us in a nice way, right? Always nice, be nice, challenging us to the numbers, we'll call certain people the winners based off of who I said they were. And the only question I have to do is figure out the one between Jenny and Cheryl because they both can't win twice. So I might have to pick a different runner-up for number 8 if necessary, or one of the other ones. So, all right, I think we did good. And I'm so excited because the buffering stopped. It only buffered 2 times for me. I saw the spinny thing twice. So I kind of ran over a little bit. I really thought this would take about an hour, and I did go through Happy Meal, so that took a little bit longer. So I'm going to run in and grab some lunch. My mom made some vegetable ham soup for me, and I'm going to go grab that and eat that so that I'm fully locked and loaded for our navigation video. I plan to be back here around 1. It might be 5 or 10 minutes after 1. You guys know how I roll, I think by now. So I'll shoot to be back in here at 1, and we'll go live shortly thereafter. I will be working off of my computer. I will be working off of my phone. I'll be working off of documentation to show you absolutely everything and anything that will help you be successful with working with me and my car classes and my team. So good deal. All right. We did good. All right. Thanks to everybody for being with me for this. If you caught the replay, I appreciate that too. And just know that the replays are always available for you to watch as long as the YouTube land lives on forever. So, right. All right, you guys. Lots of sunshine, love, and hugs. We'll see you very soon in about 30 minutes. Bye, everybody.